Hello and welcome back to Inside the 20. Today, we are going over the Week 6 headlines. I am your host, Teigan Gray. Starting out with, actually, kind of two parts to this. In my opinion, after this week, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, JSN, and GP3 George Pickens are in the top 5 wide receivers conversation in the league, especially JSN. I would say George Pickens, with the productivity we've seen over the past couple 2-3 weeks, I would say that he's there as well. And you look at it, right? And a lot of people would be like, no, they're not. But you really have to dive deep into the stats to see this. JSN leads the NFL with about 700 receiving yards. And note, that's the most for 6 games in Seahawks history. He's recorded over 90 receiving yards in 5 of his first 6 games. And that's enough right there. That's enough right there. I mean, in Week 6 alone, he had 8 receptions for 162 yards, as well as a touchdown, which is second among all receivers for the week in those respective categories. And as I keep going down the list, it's just more and more and more convincing that these guys, especially him, like I said, are top of the list, are top of the chain guys that deserve to get their flowers and their respect. He has 42 receptions, note, which is 5th most in the league. And then ESPN, I know, the most credible source in the world for any single sport, Week 6 fantasy rankings, I have him on my fantasy team, and he is the only reason why I'm not 0-6, okay? I'm 2-4, and I'm in dead last, okay? It's not looking good, okay? ESPN placed him as the number 3 wide receiver in fantasy from Week 6, and he's consistent. Like I said, 5 of his last 6 games, he has had 90 yards. He just dropped 140 yards and a touchdown. He's scoring a touchdown like every game. It's amazing, and it's amazing for my fantasy team. He's been a solid receiver, and we talked about this. I knew from the start of the season. We talked about it from the very beginning when DK went to Pittsburgh and Tyler Lockett went to Tennessee. It was like, he's going to be next up. Y'all got to watch out for JSN. And I got him, and he's looking great. He's looking the best he has ever looked. And then for George Pickens, he's right behind him in the ranking. He ranks 3rd in the NFL with 525 receiving yards, while leading wide receivers this year with 6 touchdowns. Okay, in Week 6 alone, like I mentioned, he had 9 receptions for 168 yards and a touchdown, leading all the wide receivers. So you have JSN, who's 2nd with 8 receptions, 162 yards and a touchdown. Then you have George Pickens, who leads with about 6 more yards and 1 more reception. These guys aren't 1A, 1B. I don't know what is. You also have to look at it just team-wise, okay? George Pickens especially. CeeDee Lamb's been out for 4 weeks, and he's cooked my fantasy team, but luckily I'm getting him back this week. But you have George Pickens, and he's doing this with no help around him. You have Dak, and that's it. And God forbid the defense, but it's George Pickens. And that's their wide receiver room. That's been their wide receiver room relatively all season with CeeDee Lamb out. But he's looked great. And he's a yak guy. He turns plays into big plays. He turns an average catch of 4 yards on a slant route. Juke. Oh, there he goes down the sideline. He's gone. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, but if you look at it, that's point proven right there. And then going on to Tennessee, some news out of Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans have decided to part ways with head coach Brian Callahan. Yeah, I mean, I agree with this. You go 4-19 over 2 seasons. You have a rookie who was supposed to deliver. Y'all sit at 1-5? Just lost to the Raiders 20-10. The Titans are a crumbling franchise. We've known this. We've known this for a while now, okay? And it's crazy to think that in 2021, the Titans held the 1 seed and then lost to my Cincinnati Bengals, who would go on to lose in the Super Bowl. I know you can see the banner right over there. But the Titans have not had anything since 2021. Obviously, they let go of Ryan Tannehill, and of course, they let go of Derrick Henry. But since 2021 alone, they've fired 2 head coaches and 2 general managers while going 17-40 over that span. Obviously, Will Levis didn't work out. They were planning for the number 1 pick all season long. We knew it. But here we are, and they haven't improved with the number 1 overall pick. Okay, then you have a solid draft class. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not developing as you would. Now, give him a break. He plays for the Titans. What do you want? And despite the coaching change, Cam Ward, as many would think, remains the starting QB, with the team aiming to provide him with the necessary support to succeed. And this is obviously a given. You're in this position. You want to have your rookie succeed. You want to be a successful organization that people are like, yo, look what they did to this rookie. Look what he's doing. Look what they've provided him with around him, But it's the Titans, bro. What do you want? He has nothing. He has Tyler Lockett, who's washed. We've seen it all around. You go to Tennessee, your career's over, bro. Like Tennessee and Cleveland, those are like the death penalties of the NFL. You go there, you're done, bro. You're done. It's over. But the firing Callahan places additional pressure on the front office, obviously. And we've seen how they've handled these pressures before. And these are going to be very impactful decisions, obviously. You want a good head coach. I put together my own list, okay? I have 3 head coaching candidates that I think would be peak for the Tennessee Titans to get, okay? Number 1, you have Joe Brady. He is the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, okay? He led the Bills to an AFC championship in 2024 with MVP Josh Allen. Now, I know that's Josh Allen, but you get my point. He previously built LSU's top-ranked offense in 2019, facing Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. He's praised as one of the best coordinators in the NFL and is ideal for developing young stars, okay? I saw that and I was like, yeah, dude, this is who I would want if I was the Titans manager, if I was the Titans general manager looking for a head coach. He is going, if you bring this dude in, right, that's going to be a game changer. To the next one, you have Mike McCarthy. Obviously, we've heard this name before, former Dallas Cowboys and Packers head coach. And he won a Super Bowl, first of all, won a Super Bowl in about 2010 with Green Bay. He led Dallas to 3 straight 12-5 seasons. Obviously, those did not pan out, but, who knows? It's different organization, different team, different scenario, but still, he is highly experienced, and that's what you want as a new head coach bringing in, especially with rookies. You want experience and the steady choice for a team seeking a veteran head coach. Those are the 2 big things. If you read this off, those are the 2 things you need to highlight on his resume: experienced and veteran. You get my point, okay? You want somebody who knows what they're doing, who's been around, who knows how to especially get these young guys moving, get the trains, get the wheels moving, turning, and get this into a powerhouse, into a great place where, especially you want to assert dominance. And I believe Mike McCarthy can do that. I know we've seen the backlash of him, but it's whatever, you feel me? So, to my last one, we have Matt Nagy, okay, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator. We've heard this name, obviously. He was a former Bears head coach, and for those who did not know, 2018 NFL Coach of the Year. He just previously won 2 Super Bowls as a Chiefs QB coach / offensive coordinator under Andy Reid. He is a very strong offensive mind with GM familiarity, and it makes him a natural candidate. This is one thing that, you want a well-rounded coach, especially with young rookies, like the Titans are. I've mentioned that so many times, okay? You want guys who know what they are doing, who have the brains for every aspect of the game. Now, I know that our focus is Cam Ward, but you have the offensive coordinator aspect of that. But can you translate over to the god-awful defense that the Tennessee Titans have? Which is why he's probably at the very bottom. It's like 1A, 1B, like 2. My take would be Mike McCarthy. Personally, I'm taking Mike McCarthy. That's me though. So don't flame me for that. To my last headline, think if y'all watch Monday Night Football, y'all have to know this. Bijan Robinson is not top 5, not top 3. He is the best running back in the NFL, and it's not close. It's not close in my eyes. It's not close. Listen here. With over 820 total yards, 484 rushing, 338 receiving through 6 weeks, he is a dual threat, and it's kind of clear. And he's been producing like this since he got drafted in 2023, and he really just hasn't hit that extra stride. I feel like he's been great. He's been consistent, but he hasn't hit the pinnacle that everyone else was expecting him in. This is where he's been. This is where he needs to be. This is where he is right now. Okay, he's gotten to that point, and he's proved us all wrong. And you see what this does. He exploded for 238 total yards, 170 rushing, 68 receiving, along with an 81-yard touchdown run, earning NFC Offensive Player of the Week in their Monday night win over Buffalo, 24-14. Also, great uniform choices by both teams. Okay, that has to be second up to Seattle, Tampa Bay the other week. Those were clean. But back to what I was talking about. He is averaging 4.9 yards per carry, which is not the best, but we can sum that up to 5. Okay, say that's 5. That's there. You get 5 yards every single play. You're scoring on every single drive, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. You are stressing that defense out. You're getting in the red zone every single time if you can average 5 yards per carry. And he's breaking tackles on over 30% of his touches, with 70% of his yards coming after contact. If you see that and you're like, nah, this dude's not really that good. That dude's not. He's maybe in my top 5. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about? He is him. He is him. He's built different, bro. And then on the receiving side of the ball, he's catching 77% of his passes. Obviously, we've seen this. He's a very valuable threat through the air and the ground, and I feel like people discredit him for that all the time. He leads the league in runs of 20 plus yards and consistently is forcing missed tackles. Like I said, that's great. And Atlanta's attack is built around Robinson. We've seen this. If he's not on the field, they're not playing well. They're not being consistent. And it is really hard to win without your best player. Robinson is the Falcons' identity. Nobody would know who the Atlanta Falcons are if it wasn't for him. Now, granted, you have Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I'm not going to discredit them, but Bijan is a young and upcoming star. He is the best running back in the NFL. Come here and try and disprove that. Going to my other scores, we have our Thursday night game. The Giants win at 34-17 over Philly. Rookie QB Jaxon Dart threw for 3 touchdowns, and Cam Scott, who added 2 more, as the Giants dominated the Eagles on Thursday night. The Giants' defense also pressured the Eagles' QB into multiple turnovers. With this win, New York improves its record and looks like a rising contender in the AFC East despite being 2-4. To the Jets-Broncos game in London, the Broncos win it 13-11. In a defensive struggle in London, the Broncos edged out the Jets, who remain the NFL's only winless team. Both teams struggled to sustain drives, with games featuring multiple stalled possessions. Denver's late field goal proved decisive, highlighting their ability to perform under pressure. To the Rams win at 17-3 over the crumbling Ravens. The Rams' defense stifled the Ravens, holding them to just 3 points. While Matthew Stafford led the offense efficiently, the Ravens forced several turnovers that swung momentum in their favor. This win moved them closer to contention in the NFC West and gives the team confidence moving forward. To the Patriots game, they win at 25-19 over New Orleans. The Patriots secured a road win over the Saints, with their defense forcing multiple turnovers. May delivered a solid passing performance to complement the running game. New England is now half a game behind Buffalo for the AFC East lead and shows early signs of consistency this season. To Pittsburgh, the Steelers win at 23-9 over Cleveland. A-Rod threw for 2 touchdowns as the Steelers continued their dominance over the Browns at home. Cleveland struggled to generate offensive momentum against Pittsburgh's strong defensive front, as the Steelers' victory extends their winning streak and positions them as a playoff threat. The Seahawks win at 20-12 over the Jaguars. The Seahawks defense stepped up, limiting the Jaguars' offense. While credit to Trevor Lawrence, he was able to manage the game efficiently. Jacksonville failed to convert several key third downs, as Seattle's victory reinforces their status as a team improving under young talent and coaching. To Miami, the Chargers win at 29-27 over the Dolphins. In a high-scoring affair, the Chargers edged out the Dolphins with a late-game field goal. Justin Herbert threw for multiple touchdowns, but Miami nearly came back late. To Carolina, the Cowboys fall to the Panthers 30-27. The Panthers won on the last-second field goal, with Rico Dowdle wisely running out of bounds to set up the game winner. Dallas had several opportunities to tie the game late, but failed to capitalize. To Las Vegas, the Raiders get the dub 20-10 over the Titans. The Raiders ended their 4-game losing streak with a comfortable win over the Titans. Las Vegas' defense forced turnovers and limited Tennessee's scoring chances. This victory gives the Raiders momentum and hope for a midseason playoff push. To San Francisco, the Bucs win at 30-19 over the 49ers. Baker Mayfield connected with Chris Godwin for a touchdown, and the Bucs defense held off the 49ers to secure the dub. Tampa Bay's running game also gained critical yards to control the clock. The Buccaneers now position themselves as contenders with a strong offensive and defensive balance. Joe Flacco's debut for the Bengals ended in defeat as the Packers' defense stifled Cincinnati's offense. Green Bay receivers made several big plays to extend the lead as the Packers continued to look like a serious NFC contender. To the Sunday night game, Chiefs win at 30-17 over the Lions. The Chiefs bounced back from an early deficit to defeat the Lions, with Patrick Mahomes leading the charge. Kansas City's offensive line provided excellent protection, allowing multiple deep passes. This win reaffirms the Chiefs' status as one of the league's elite teams despite earlier struggles. To our Monday night games, the Falcons win at 24-14 over Buffalo. Bijan rushed for 170 yards, including an 81-yard touchdown, as the Falcons defeated the Bills on Monday night. Atlanta's offensive lines dominated the line of scrimmage throughout the game. This performance reinforces Robinson's reputation as the league's best and most explosive running back. To the other Monday night game, Bears on the road get the dub 25-24 over the Commanders. The Bears secured a dramatic win over the Commanders with a field goal as time expired, while Chicago's defense made key stops to preserve the lead in the final minutes. This thrilling victory shows the Bears' resilience and ability to perform in high-pressure situations. Shout out Deebo Samuel for absolutely falling off, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it so much, bro. You clutched up, bro. You're the reason why I won my fantasy game. So shout out Debo Samuel. Love you, bro. I appreciate it. And yeah, that'll do it for my week 6 headlines recap, whatever you want to call it. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. And yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all made it to the end. Y'all a real one. Please make sure to just hit that red button. It takes like 2 seconds of your time, bro. Just do it, bro, please. And yeah, trying to hit 2,700. And peace out. This has been Inside the 20 with your week 6 headlines. Peace.